Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Wet Boots Podcast. It's June, which means it's Pride Month. Hey, Slay Queen. And my guest today is no stranger to the community. He was in the Army from 2006 to 2009 in the National Guard, gross, as a chemical specialist. He is an exclusive top, and most importantly, he's my best friend in the whole wide world. Please welcome Travis Brooks.
My name is Pink, I made him go get that ink. Let him eat that pretty pussy, now he keep trying to link. I'm pimping pinky ring, his ex is his rinky dink. I'm about to pop a thingy, then sip on his drinky.
Hey Travis, how are you, man?
I'm all right. Glad
Miss
to be
you.
home.
I know, man. I miss you. It's fine. You're finally home. We're finally able to do this. I know you very well, but tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm originally from North Carolina, Maxville, North Carolina, to be specific. I've been gone for about 7 years now. I currently live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, the gay capital of the world, Wilt Manors. I've been there going on, like I said, maybe 4 years now. Love it. Love sunny South Florida. Hate the politics, but what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Beach is there. Friends are there. So I love it. I come home often, so it makes up for the distance.
So tell everybody how you joined the Army.
Oh, man. So I joined the Army with the National Guard my junior year in high school.
Jesus.
I wanted to just get away. I wanted to get away from Robeson County. I wanted to get away from Maxton. So I joined my junior year as soon as I turned 17. My dad did not want me to go into the Army because he had been in the Army and was just like, it sucked ass. So my mom thought it was the best thing for me, so she signed the papers. Kind of undercut him. So I joined, and I didn't ship off to basic training until 2007, 3 days after high school graduation. Mm-hmm. That was the wildest thing I've ever done, is to just grow up super fast within 3 days. So I shipped off to basic training 3 days after graduation. I went to basic in Fort Leonardwood? Fort Lawson Woods.
Yeah, that one.
Missouri. Definitely got lost in the woods a few times. Basic training, it was cute. I was one of those JROTC nerds in high school.
Oh,
I was in JROTC for 4 years. So it wasn't like a huge slap in the face.
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't take the screaming. It was just a lot of screaming, and it was during the moments of the shark attack.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, they still do those. They still did those when I was in basic training. But in 2006, it must have been completely different from like 12 years out or 6 years after that.
It was. We were still wearing BDUs.
Oh.
Right before I went to basic is when it was like, all right, here's your ACU, no more BDUs. You don't have to shine your boots. It's cool. So
That was a nice relief.
yeah, it was, because in 2006 when I joined, I had to do RSP, which is like the 1 weekend a month drill for people who didn't go to basic yet, mainly high school students.
Okay,
Who
yeah.
had signed up for the Army.
Yeah.
That kind of sucked. We had to learn the Army song, the creed, and all that. We did.
So it's like a pre-basic to basic?
Yeah, but which lasted an entire year.
Oh my God. Was it like on the weekends or what?
Yeah, it was just 1 weekend a month. It was up here in Fayetteville. So it didn't suck. It was just, it's more of a hurry up and wait. The Army loves that. And I learned a lot about that within that year. I shipped off to basic June of 2007, and what was it? Reception.
Mm-hmm.
So went to reception for 2 weeks and then off to basic training.
Oh my God. So you mentioned that you were in JROTC. How long did you do that?
4 years. I was fully invested. I didn't have a personality if it wasn't JROTC.
Oh, you were one of those?
But it was kind of, it made me mature while in high school. Like I kind of had to raise myself, discipline myself once I got to high school. So I was like, all right, you got to do something different, because you just can't keep getting your ass kicked at home.
Yeah.
So you got to do something different to avoid ass kickings.
Yeah.
So I did ROTC. Like I said, it was my entire personality. My whole high school career was wrapped up in that. Color guard, ranger team, drill and ceremony, all that nerdy shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I learned a lot of my military bearings from ROTC, which helped me a lot. Like everything, it prepared me for basic training, basically.
Yeah.
4 years worth of preparedness.
I didn't know that was a thing. I know now they're doing an Army, I don't know what they're calling it, but it's like a fat camp, because the Army has a problem with like recruiting people that are thin enough. And that just reminds me of that. I never went through the basic, like pre-basic, before basic or anything like that. I just remember kind of like going to the recruiters and they're like, this is what a PT test is. And I'm like, okay, that was it. And they're like, yep, that's it. And I'm like, that seems pretty fucking easy.
Well, it was in JROTC. We had PT tests, so it definitely prepared me, like push-ups, sit-ups, and a run. Granted, it wasn't a 2-mile run; it was a 1-mile run. But I knew what a PT test was and knew how to pass it.
Yeah, you knew everything about that.
Yeah.
You were about that life.
I was ready. I was ready to go, boots on the ground. Basic training. Everything is mental. Nothing is physical. It's just physical on your body. Like they're not going to kill you or make you do something that they know you can't do. So during JROTC, I was like, okay, I've been doing push-ups, sit-ups, and running for the past 4 years. I can do this. But with someone yelling at me, making me do it, yelling and pointing in my face, I would do it again.
Yeah, nice, dude. So when you got to basic training, how was the shark attack there?
It was, so getting off the bus at reception, it was fine. It was like, hey, get off my bus. That was it.
Did you have a regular bus?
We had a charter bus. It was like a Greyhound bus.
Okay.
But getting to basic training from reception, we took the cattle bus.
Okay.
That was the weirdest thing I had ever seen. I was like, why as humans are we treated as cows?
Now you're seeing the indoctrination.
Duffel bag on the front, duffel bag on the back, ready to go. It was just, that shark attack was wild. And for some reason, I forgot everything I had learned in JROTC with my military bearing because they were screaming at me. And I was completely looking at a whole different unit, seeing what they were doing. And then the drill sergeant screamed at me. It's like, do you want to go over there? And I was like, no.
You're like, maybe, I don't know.
Here. Don't yell at me. The shark attack, it was rough because I've never been away from home before, never been on a flight.
Really?
So flew out across the country, halfway across the country. So I was like super scared.
Really?
Yeah, because I just didn't know what to expect. Like you hear all of these horror stories like, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, be on the lookout for this. But it can't prepare you for when it actually happens. Like, oh, I heard about this, but they didn't tell me it's going to suck this bad.
Yeah.
So the shark attack lasted, for 3 weeks. Like that red phase, it was rough. Like push-ups all the time, half right phase. It was kind of annoying at one point because you're having to be responsible for somebody 45 people away from you in formation. Yeah. Like if one person messes up in first platoon, third platoon is going to eat shit because of it. Yeah. So, I got issued a battle buddy that I had to be responsible for and then responsible for me. Okay. Which it's kind of hard being responsible for somebody. And also he was kind of on the heavy side. He
was a little fatty.
He was a little Debbie. So I had to be responsible for him, and he kind of stuck out because he was fat. And the drill sergeant was like, oh, you're not going to be fat. Get your battle buddy. Me being the battle buddy.
Oh, fuck.
Had to do push-ups because he was a little overweight. But I'm proud of him. By the end of basic training, he had lost all that weight. Thanks to me.
Hell yeah.
But, being responsible for somebody else, it's maddening. I couldn't imagine being a mother, you know?
Oh, absolutely not. Being a parent, absolutely not.
You can't go anywhere without your battle buddy, and he wasn't a runner. Like, I ran all the way through high school. Track and field, cross country, ROTC, tennis. Like, I was very physically fit. And then getting to basic and being issued a battle buddy who never ran a PT test a day in their life. So had to run everywhere with him. It was kind of crazy. And he couldn't keep up. There was like, Brooks, where's your battle buddy? It was behind me 2 seconds ago. He must have passed out.
You're like, fuck.
Yeah, it was stupid. But we became really good friends. I hated him at first. I really hated him because I always had to do push-ups because he was fat. And that's why I don't fat shame people. I won't fat shame a person, like to each his own, but because I had to.
But it was affecting you pretty directly, and you're like, God, this motherfucker.
Directly. But I saw what he could do. Like I saw his capabilities.
Okay. That's not too bad.
All the weight.
That's not too bad. Tell me something else about basic training.
So, being it's my first time standing away from home, but like I said, I was super scared. And there's this guy, I forget his name. he used to walk with me to the shower every day. He was just like,
He was your shower buddy?
Yes, my shower buddy. He was like, not I'll protect you, but come on, let's go. I don't want anything to happen to you. Let's go take a shower. Like clockwork every day. He was a redhead, so the drapes matched the carpet.
Okay.
He was not a lovely human being. I love him to this day.
But he's just like, hey, Brooks, let's go shower.
Yeah, it was no sus shit or nothing. Like, he was just like, hey, let's go. It's time to shower.
Oh, so he was making
like,
sure you're clean.
Well, not clean and not on no don't trap the soap type stuff. It was just, he was just looking out for me. He was just he wasn't my battle buddy. He was just a great friend.
He was just your shower buddy.
Yeah, I just didn't want anything bad, quote unquote, to happen.
Okay.
So that was fun. What? Next question, please.
I'm not asking you question to question.
It was basic training in the barracks was a hoot. You have all these 18-year-old kids, 18, 19-year-old kids, full of hormones, full of stupid ideas. Tiger bomb on your balls.
To make you run faster?
No, that's just because they had it. It was like, oh, let's put it on our balls and take a hot shower. It was the craziest
What the
thing.
fuck?
These in Missouri, like, of course they came from all over the United States, but some of the things that we used to come up with were insane.
Yeah.
What was it? One thing I hated, and I still hate to this day, was fire guard.
Oh, there's nothing worse than like having a good dream and then you just feel a nudge. Hey, it's your turn to pull fire guard.
You feel
You're like, fuck.
You feel that red light in your face. Hey, wake up! It's your turn. I used to fight to get first shift or left shift.
Oh, that's the best.
Yeah, I couldn't. I hated it so bad. Just walking around. I think we had it for like 30 minutes. I hated fire guard. I still
Well, yeah,
because
because when you go to basic training, you're used to being up for a long time. Like you go out partying and all that stuff, but you're not used to doing a whole bunch of physical stuff and then going to do just staying up for 30 minutes for no reason.
And I didn't know what fire guard was. Like the first night we got there, well, actually it started in reception. It was like, hey, you got to pull fire guard. I was like, is there typically fires? Like,
Well, when it sucks because when you explain to somebody what fire guard is, like if you're on staff duty or something, you're like, well, I'm on staff duty. I'm on fire guard. Like, why? Because the Army tells me to stay in a place for an hour. Yeah, but like, what's going to happen? I don't know. The building might burn down. How is a building going to burn down? I don't know. It's just happened before, I guess.
Fire guards are in general, period. Yeah. And then, like, throughout the rest of my military career, they was like, who's signing up for fire guard? I used to run the complete opposite direction. I was not going to do that. I refused. I was like, move. I'm gay. I'm not doing that.
It's Pride Month, so it's okay. Did you ever master sleeping standing up?
I did. I think it happened maybe 5 weeks into basic, riding the cattle bus. Actually on a ruck march, I actually fell asleep walking.
What?
I fell asleep walking, and I made it about 10 paces, and then my foot fell off the side of the road, and I was like, holy shit, I was asleep.
Oh, you were nodding off?
No, I was fully asleep. And I didn't realize until my foot slid, like my body was just
jolted, and you're like, oh my God, I've been walking for a good while now.
Sleepwalking, but you know that you're walking, and then you fall asleep, and then you wake up, and you're still walking.
Yeah.
It was the weirdest thing. And then sleeping, standing up on the cattle buses or the Bluebird buses.
Yeah.
Because it ran out of seats magically, so you had to stand up with your rucksack on your back, and especially going to the field, your rucksack and then your duffel bag on the front. Mm-hmm. You learned. It's just one of those things that you didn't expect to learn. It's a trait that I am so glad to have to this day.
Yeah, the Army teaches you a lot of random skills that you will probably never use in your life.
Useless. But
you learn to master them while you're in the Army, like sleeping, standing up, smoking in the rain.
Yes.
I don't know why, but that's one of the useful tactics. That's one of the useful non-Army things that the Army taught me was to smoke in the rain. I was when I first got to the unit, I saw a couple guys just smoking in the rain. I'm like, it doesn't look fun, but I do need a cigarette. Right. So I just went out there, and cigarette was wet, lighter was wet. And they're like, you got to cup the hands. You got to cup his hands over the cigarette. And then you got to got to pinch it with your pointer finger and your thumb, and then let your other fingers go around it to cover it from the rain.
That's just too much.
And I'm like, you know what? That is a good idea, but I would smoke in the rain.
The stuff that went on in the barracks, man, was crazy. In high school, I wasn't a rebel. I just did what I want. I've always done what I wanted to do.
You're a rebel.
Even under 18. When I was under 18, I was like, I'll get my nipple pierced. I want to do something nobody else has done. Oh, do you want a belly button pierced? Yeah, put a hole in it. So I went to basic. I was like, we're going to have my nipple ring and my belly ring in. It's healed, so why not? I can just take it out, go into the shower, and put it back in. So it didn't really bother me, but the weirdest shit happened. This one guy, he lives in Key West now, really good friend. He saw me with my nipple ring in. He was like, hey, I'll buy your nipple ring. I was like, for what? He was like, I don't want my...
Wait. He said he'll buy your nipple ring?
He'll buy my nipple ring. I was like, for what? He was like, I don't want my tongue ring to close up. Oh. I was like, bro, do you know how disgusting that is? I was like, it's in my nipple. I was like, at this point, you might as well suck my nipple. So I didn't sell it to him because I didn't want my nipple ring to close up.
Question. How much was he offering though?
The bid started at $75.
Oh my God.
But I only had one nipple ring. I was like, you got to do better than that, bro.
Yeah.
So I think it got up to 100 and I was like, nah, no deal.
Because yours was going to close up?
Yeah, my nipple was going to close up. And if you've ever had a nipple piercing, that is the worst feeling in the world. But it makes great jewelry. It makes great body modifications. So he wanted to buy it, and I was like, no, that's kind of nasty.
Yeah.
Like, I'm over here rocking and sweating, and it's like going inside my nipple hole. I was like, and you want to put it in your mouth? I was like, bro, and it's too small. Like, what are you going to do? You can't close it up. It was kind of weird.
I can't believe he was actually willing to do that. That's disgusting.
Like I said, there's 18-year-old kids in the middle of nowhere. You come up with some very creative ideas.
You come up with some ways to kill time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once you graduated basic, did your parents drive down from North Carolina to Missouri?
They did. That's the first time they've ever been west. Like, not even in the western part of North Carolina.
Oh, really?
My mom, my dad, and my grandparents, they drove from North Carolina all the way to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri.
Oh, my God.
It surprised me. I knew they were coming. Well, I thought they were coming. I didn't expect them to show up because they'd never been on such a long road trip. Mm-hmm. And they had to drive there, and, of course, they had to drive back. It was great. They got to see me graduate, march on the field. Like, the day I graduated, I really felt a sense of relief because I'll just say it. My dad had always told me, like, you're not gonna make it. The Army's gonna break you. You're gonna come home. You're gonna fail. So I made it a point to prove him wrong and prove everyone else wrong in my community because being the token gay guy or the gay kid, they see you as weak. Mm-hmm. So I had a point to prove. Like, I wanted to show them, you said I couldn't do something and I proved it wrong. So eat shit.
Yeah.
Well, of course I couldn't tell my dad that.
Did your dad telling you anything when he saw you graduate?
Just that he's proud of me. Like, that was a whole blur. Like, I think I suffered from heat exhaustion the whole summer. Wow. It was hot. It was hot and humid. I hate it. And to this day, every time I see a Missouri license plate, I flip it off. Because, like, marching on a ruck march, like on a 15-mile ruck march, you're like, fuck these guys. I'm walking in there driving. Like, I want to ride in a car or drive. It just sucks. So he was just like, I'm proud of you, yada, yada, yada. Mm-hmm. But I was more proud of myself because it was like all my teachers in high school, my dad, a lot of people just was like, you're not going to make it. You're too weak or you're such a pussy or, something stupid to just, degrade me.
Even the teachers, holy
my ROTC teacher was like, you really joined the Army? Are you sure about that? Yeah. I was like, fuck you, guy. Watch this.
But you were a sassy bitch.
I was a sassy bitch throughout the entire basic training. Mm-hmm. Nobody really fucked with me.
Yeah.
I was very emotional though. Like every Sunday when we got a chance to use the phones.
Now, did you have payphones?
We had payphones. We had fucking payphones. And then like the other ones, the people who came with their cell phones, of course, got to use their cell phones, but we had payphones. In the noon, like at 12 o'clock noon, in the heat of a summer day, I was in that payphone crying my ass off. I just missed home. Like I said, I'd never been away. And I was on the phone with my mom. I remember it clear as day. I was bawling tears. I was like, Mom, I want to come home. I don't want to do this. Typical for everybody in basic. She was like, shut the hell up. You're there. Now do it.
Oh, Mom.
She was like, this is what you wanted. You're there. Suck it up. And
might as well just keep going, man.
Yeah, after that, when I did call him on Sunday, I was like, no use crying. She don't care. So just cried to myself. My shower buddy, he saw how emotional I was. He saw like it was killing me to just like be there.
So he's like, come on, Travis, let's go take a shower.
Well, prior to that, he called his parents, and like his parents would like send me care packages and send me like what do they call it? The greeting cards and stuff. Just like keep your head up and stuff like that. So that really meant a lot to me.
Oh, that's sweet. Shout out to Shower Buddy.
Yeah, like they bought me phone cards and stuff. I was like, these random people don't even know me, but I still love him to this day.
That's the kind of ex of strangers.
Find him.
When you were in basic, did you? Because when I was in basic, we had like church services and stuff. I went there just for the snacks. They always had the best snacks too, and it was like Bible Circle, and you'd have like a Nature Valley bar. And maybe like a Capri Sun or a High C, and they'd have like candy and shit, and you're like, oh my God, this is great.
Growing up, I grew up Christian. I was raised Christian, but as soon as I got the basic training,
all of them.
I became Protestant. Because Protestant, their services was a time when we had to clean the barracks. I was like, I'm not doing that. So I was a rebel. I went to the vending machine at the church and bought Skittles and a Sprite, and I put that shit in my canteen.
The Skittles?
And the Sprite.
Oh my God.
It was delicious. It was like a taste of freedom.
That is
if it was McDonald's Sprite, it would have been different. But
boy, that electric Sprite.
It was delicious. I had to have it. I only did it once though because I was so scared. And I remember marching there, and I remember going around the corner, and everybody goes together. The AIT soldiers and basic soldiers, so they're like kind of intermingled. And drill sergeants aren't really there. Maybe like cadre from AIT is there, so they don't really give a shit.
They're there to like pick you up and like drop you off and stuff.
So I went every Sunday religiously. I was there, and I became Protestant, and I was like, what is this? I don't like this, but I had to be there for the snacks. A snack for the snacks, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my God! Did you ever do those obstacle courses in there? Because I think one of them, when I went, one of them was closed or something, or they didn't want us to do it. But we did do the rappel tower for sure. And I remember people being like so scared to go down it. And I'm like, it looks like a far drop, but it doesn't look like. But they had like rubber, like the rubber tires on there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, you're not going to fall further than the ground.
You're going to hit a tire.
Yeah.
We had
a shredded tire.
Course. The one, the obstacle course where everything is white and you can't touch the white?
No.
Okay, so you can't touch the white wood or you're dead. And they had like specks of brown, or you had to use a burrow and get a burrow from point A to point B.
It was like you have to put down the planks.
Yes.
Wow, you just unlocked a memory right there. God.
So it's like you have to think about it. Like you have to come up with a plan, and coming up with a plan in a group of dummies. You can't, you don't get any direction. It's just like, put that burrow over there, or put this box of ammo over there. Don't touch the white. There's a river. Don't touch the sand.
Yeah.
I'm like, how am I supposed to get over there? And then we're just like spitballing. We never made it up. But the obstacle courses was fun. It was weird at one point. We were running across the field with our gas mask on. Actually, across the field and up a hill with that gas mask on. They tried to kill me. There was this one incident, and I felt so bad for this lady. She jumped off of the zip line tower and just was like gliding down, and mid zip line, you just see a sea of blood below her belt. And we all looked up like she was screaming bloody murder.
As she was zip lining down.
As she's zip lining down, like halfway down, you hear a scream, and you just look up, and it's like a sea of blood, like right below her belt. So if you see that, you know what's going on. Like, something is
something happened
downstairs.
Yeah.
So long story short, she went to the doctor. She went to sick call, and I actually had to go to the hospital.
They waited like till the next day, or they just like
No,
took her?
immediately. Like
Okay.
she jumped on the ambulance and went to wherever hospital I was. She came and told her, she was like, I clipped my lip.
What?
She somehow the Swiss seat, is that what it's called? The Swiss seat, it was either tied too tight or it was too loose. And when she put all her weight on it, it didn't dawn on her until halfway down. Oh. I remember her battle buddy clear as day. She had to go to the hospital with her, and the girl who it happened to, she had to go home. So her battle buddy was just spilling all the tea. She was like, the bitch lost her lip, and she was like, I was there in the surgery room, couldn't leave her.
Oh, they get surgery?
Yeah, she had to close it up. She had to close whatever was lost up, like maybe glue or reattach it if it was still down there. I don't know how this stuff works. Happy Pride. I don't.
Or if they found it or something.
Of course, they were fun though.
Yeah.
Like they were.
Besides
fun,
that, for her, it wasn't fun for her.
No, couldn't have been. I want to know where she's at today. I'll look her up too. I'm so glad I didn't clip my lip.
Well.
And it was God's favorite that day.
It was. There was this guy in my basic who for some reason just wouldn't shower. And those guys just stink so bad. And you don't really know what to do about it. We try to get him to shower. We try to like push him into the shower just to fucking wash him off. But he was like, if you do this, I'm going to tell the drill sergeants and all that shit. And I was like, they're like, it just fucking stinks so bad in here. Like it already smells bad. But he was just adding to it.
We had a guy like that. He was across the bay from us, but I could still smell it. Like I could smell his rank. And this was like 4 and 5 days going on. Like you got the PT and you got ruck marches and all this other sweaty business you got going on. So we tried to force him in the shower physically, but he wouldn't go. And I'm not going to say I participated because I don't think I did, but it was
allegedly
soap party.
Allegedly.
It was a soap on a rope party, which did not end very well with him, but we accomplished the mission. He finally took a shower.
Allegedly. So for those that don't know, what is a soap party?
A soap party is military issued soap and a sock.
Okay.
And you just swing it.
Just in the air, just.
Well, swing it towards a body. If the body's above you, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a helicopter.
So what actually happened?
We were on fire guard. Well, somebody was on fire guard, and they had planned it out. It was like, hey, we're going to do it tonight. And I was asleep. I wasn't even on fire guard. And fire guard woke me up. And it was like, hey, it's time. It's like a fucking murder. So I swear to God, I didn't hit that man with that soap. But I saw it happen, and I felt bad. But it was like, well, we tried to get you to take a shower, but it stinks in here. But like I said, after that, he didn't have a problem the rest of basic training.
I fucking bet he didn't. I bet he fucking didn't.
I felt so bad for him. He was like he was a scrawny kid. Mm-hmm. He was normal height, but he just smelled so bad. God, I hated it.
Everybody does. But those are the times where you just have to take everything into your own hands and take care of the problem. And like you said, He took a shower after that.
He did. And one thing that I'm just not thinking of, I'm so fortunate to have great eyesight.
I am not, but go ahead.
I couldn't imagine myself in those birth control classes.
The basic training classes?
Yes. What were the
BCGs
you had,
BCGs. So you had the brown ones.
The brown ones.
So for those of you that don't know, it looks like the guy from Trailer Park Boys.
Yes.
It looks just like those. And they're just big, square brown glasses. When I came in, they had the thin black ones. I was fortunate for that.
A lot of people, this one girl, she had a college degree. She was a specialist. Like, I don't know why she didn't go green to gold, but whatever. She refused to take her contacts out. She was like, I'm not taking my contacts out. And the drill sergeant was like, what? Where's your glasses? You're supposed to have on your birth control glasses or whatever they were called. And she was like, I'm not wearing them. We're going to wear my contacts. And he was like, do you realize if you get like sand or anything in your contacts, it's going to completely ruin your eyeball? She's like, I'm not wearing it. So she eventually broke down because like after enough push-ups, you're going to mend. Like you're going to conform to what they want you to do. Yeah. It was horrible. Oh, they were so ugly, bro.
I had contacts before basic training, but I knew I was going to Oklahoma. And I didn't know anything about Oklahoma, but I knew I didn't want to have my contacts in there. So I had a pair in my bag just in case, but I knew that like it was contraband or whatever. So I didn't want to get caught with them. But then again, at the same time, I also didn't want to wear them. And then you get all that sand buildup and everything. And just in case I get hurt and then they're in there and then you're like, fuck, well, I'm wearing contacts. And they kicked me out and shit. So I was like, man, I'll just wear the glasses. The worst part was I had to have inserts in my iPro because you always have to wear iPro everywhere.
Yeah. I
had to have the inserts in my iPro. And let me tell you, when people would grab those and be like, how blind are you? That's always a question I would get. How blind are you? Jeez. I'd hand them my iPro and then be like, holy shit. And I'm like, yep, I'm pretty fucking blind.
Like I said, I'm so grateful to not be blind.
Yeah, I can't share that that look with you.
Hearing might go, but hey, I got my eyesight.
So after basic, you went to AIT for chemical person.
CBRN.
CBRN.
Radiological Operations Specialist.
That guy. Where did you go for AIT for that?
Across the street. They lined up. Graduation was over. They kicked the parents out, and they was like, "All right, let's wrap it up. You got to march across the street." I thought I was going somewhere magical, like people getting on planes, people getting on buses. I was like, I want out of this state. Let me go. I was like, nope, sorry, you got to do 9 more weeks across the street. So they marched us across the street, and you have holdovers in AIT, like if someone doesn't pass a test or can't graduate.
Or they're just waiting for the class to start or something?
No, the waiting for the class to start was the hold under. I've coined that term. We got there. Our drill sergeant was there, or at the time we had drill sergeants. She wasn't there. She was actually on her way to Fort Leavenworth.
Okay.
Weirdest story. And I don't know who told us, but I feel like I was an instructor. They was like, oh yeah, she's going to lock up a private. He, committed a crime or whatever the case is in AIT. So it was that serious. It was like a scared straight moment.
Okay.
Straight.
Yeah. Well, that didn't take.
No, well, it didn't take long at all. I think it was like a sexual assault crime on another male. I was like, oh shit, there's other gay people in the Army besides me. So she had to go all the way to Fort Leavenworth, her and somebody else. So when she came back, she was heated. Like, one, the guy was under her watch or in her platoon, and two, she had to drive there and drive back. So she was not with the shits when she got back to the company.
She was not with the shits?
She was not. She hated everybody. It took her about a good 2-3 days to realize, all right, he's gone. Now I have new privates to look after. Hopefully not everybody's a piece of shit now. In AIT, I was the plug.
Okay.
They had what was it called? A day room. My barracks in basic and barracks in AIT were completely different. In basic, we lived in trailers. In AIT, we actually lived in buildings, like the actual barracks buildings. And the barracks had a day room. They had like the TV, and then they had snack machines, and then the pool table. The only rule was you can't take snacks back to your
room.
I never got that concept. Like, why can't I do this? Again, rebel. So I took snacks back to my room.
Okay.
Word got out that was happening, and 1, a rebel, 2, scammer.
Okay.
3, I'm about my bag, right? So I would buy $1 Snickers bar and flip that shit for like $7.
$7?
$7. I didn't get the concept of why I couldn't have it, so I would just walk right out of the day room with it in my hand, not in my cargo pocket, not shoved down my pants. I just would walk back, and like I said, word got around. I was flipping Snickers and gummy bears and soda.
Yo, $7 though.
They were desperate, and at one point, like, I had so many orders. I was like, just do it yourself. Just walk out. What are they gonna do?
Just put it in your socks.
Well, it was literally in my hand when I walked out.
Oh.
It, like, of course, like, the instructor or whoever was on staff duty wasn't paying attention. So it's like super easy. But we had that shakedown, and drill sergeant, I forgot her name. Dang. My drill sergeant found the Snickers bar in my locker. She was like, this is the Arctic 15. You about to get it. I was like, what's Arctic 15?
Can't hurt you if you don't know what it is.
Okay, so in basic, again, Rebel, I took like a Nutri-Grain bar from the chow hall. Then took it back because I was like, okay, they want me to stay hydrated and nutrients in my body. What's going to hurt? It was a strawberry Nutri-Grain bar. I never forget it. Put it in my locker. I was like, okay, I'll snack, whatever. We had a shakedown one day. They started at 1, and I was like bed 89. So everybody that got caught with it, I was like, oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't do it again. You have to stop this. That fucker got to 89. He was like, I'm sick of this shit. Knocked my my wall locker over, just like destroying shit. He was like, I'm sick of this. I'm like, wait a minute. These other fuckers got a pass. Where's mine? And then, not a buddy fucker, but the guy that was in bed number 90, he had the same thing. Like, he had Oreos or something, and he got a free pass. But, like, in basic, like, you're picking grass out of the rocks. Like, I had, what was it called? Extra duty?
Yeah.
I was picking grass out of the rocks. I was like, this is some bullshit. I was like, I'm 89, bed number 90.
But it was worth it, though.
Oreos. Mine was Nutri-Grain. He had Oreos. I was like.
And you didn't, and he didn't get anything either?
He didn't get shit.
Really?
I went to the drill sergeant. I was like, hey, remember y'all had that shakedown? You kicked me in my ass, and this guy just walked away scot-free. What's going on? He was like, oh, you want to be a Blue Falcon, dude?
Oh, my God. Really?
Labeled me.
Jesus Christ.
He was like, take this as a lesson. And then the fat battle buddy that I had, he wasn't happy. I had to have my battle buddy with me.
Oh, so that part was a basic.
Yeah, that part was a basic.
Okay.
But in AIT, I got caught again. That's when, like, it really hit on me that I was in the real army. Yeah. She was like, oh, this is Arctic 15. They, like, docked my pay and everything. Extra duty and everything.
For a Snickers bar.
For
fucking shit your pants.
For a fucking Snickers bar. And I noticed that money going. I was like, what the hell?
Oh my God, they actually did it?
Yeah. They took the money for 2 weeks.
So they actually gave you an Article 15.
Yeah, I signed it. I signed it in everything. In basic, not so much, but AIT, she was serious. She was like, you're getting this Article 15.
Oh my God.
And I think 2 weekends, I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't go off post. I was like, I'm poor. Help me, I'm poor. But I was, AIT. It was a breeze if you could stay awake. Yeah. I am a very sleepy person, especially like if I'm getting up at 5:30 in the morning. Like, I'm not used to that. I was never used to that. I hate mornings. And the Army just heightened that even more. Like, getting up at 5:30, doing PT, taking a shower, going to class.
Hell yeah.
I was such a sleepy baby. I would fall asleep in class. And mind you, like I said, chemical specialist. I got to be able to test the air. I got to be able to test if there's mustard gas or nerve agents.
What do you do? Just smell it?
Well, I wouldn't. I would wipe my finger and taste it just to see if it was out there. But nerve agents was like a serious thing. And I fell asleep in that class. Real bad. And I fighting sleep is hard, man. We went into that nerve chamber and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
So what do they do in the nerve chamber?
Mop gear.
Oh, you got to put it on?
I mean, you have to put that stuff on and it has to be tight. Tight. So we down on mop gear and it's like a simulated chemical war zone attack. Yeah. There was like a truck in there. There's an LMTV. There was like a Hummer. When she swabbed the nerve agent on the wall, she would point to it. She's like, this is the nerve agent. Test and see if it's active. So we'd go up, we'd get a little charcoal paper or whatever, rub it, and see if it reacted. And if you know what a nerve agent is, it takes like seconds to completely break your spine. Like, all your nerves are dead. Yeah. It's completely decapitated. Like, it shut down your entire body because it's run by nerves and it attacks your nerves.
Oh, okay.
So you put on your mop gear, go in there, test the wall, test the truck, and then the fun part was taking a freezing cold shower.
Afterwards?
Afterwards, we had to
decontaminate.
We had to decontaminate in a cold shower. It sucked so bad. Oh. And I skated through that because, like I said, I fell asleep and I didn't know what I was doing. I relied on my battle buddy. Battle buddies are very important. And I almost got held back because I was asleep, man. I failed a test, and she was like, listen, I don't want to see your face again. You need to study and pass this test. gladly I did. So shout out to me. And one thing that I learned a lot about is the decontamination process.
Okay.
Especially like with the trucks, man. Those trucks are insane. Like with the water pressure and the backblast area clear, like you had to make sure everything was right, especially on a truck and in them hoses, because it's like basically a fire truck, but for chemical cleaning.
Okay.
Like the fire hoses and stuff, then they were really powerful.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I got out. Let's just say that. It sucked, but I was very sleepy a lot.
When you were in AIT, did you have a lot of time to, did you guys have time to go out? Because I heard that sometimes it goes in phases and you weren't allowed to go out. I went out. There was no problem with my AIT going out.
We had weekend passes, and my first weekend pass, it was a post pass. Like you got a pass to go out around on post, like to the PX, or if they had a movie theater. I utilized my time and went to the aquatic center. It's where we did our water survivor training in basic, and I was like, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna jump off that high dive.
Oh, okay.
So my first weekend pass, I went back and I jumped off that high dive. That shit is kind of high. It's like very high.
You're shitting your pants.
It hurt, like just like smacking into that water as gravity takes over. Yeah, I shit my pants in the pool. But yeah, we got weekend passes.
Yeah.
I witnessed my first hangover. I think it was like that first weekend that I had an off-post weekend pass. I didn't know how to drink or what to drink, so I was just like drinking. And I was like, no. I was 18, so it was just like I was putting all of it in my body. And I was seeing a guy while I was there.
In AIT with you?
He was in AIT with me, but he was a reclass.
Those goddamn AIT relationships, man.
It didn't last. Well, he was a reclass that didn't last. It kind of
the reclass or your relationship?
The relationship. Cause he just
figured
he wasn't clingy. He was just kind of weird.
Okay.
Like I had been away from home. I was emotional, and I was just like, I need someone to care about me. He was like, I'll do it. So we started dating, and he would buy my liquor. He would buy the beer or whatever we were drinking. And then I woke up that Sunday morning. No, woke up that Saturday morning. We had went to the club the night before. And I was like, oh, God, I feel weird. I feel like I'm dying. He was like, you're just hungover. I was like, what is a hangover? He was like, if you indulge too much, this is what happens. He was like, you just eat some chicken wings, some very greasy chicken wings. So he ordered me chicken wings.
It's the first time I've ever heard that.
And it cleared me right up.
Really?
Yeah. It was just like, get you something greasy in your stomach to coat your stomach. And it worked then.
So chicken wings cures a hangover.
So like buffalo chicken wings, yeah.
What the fuck?
They had to be very greasy though.
I gotta try that shit because I've never heard that before in my life. I've only heard drink pickle juice. I mean, now I'm a more responsible drinker. Like I'll take some vitamins before I drink. I'll eat food. I'll eat a lot of protein, and then I'll make sure to drink a lot of water before. Like when I'm done drinking, I'll just start pounding water. And for the most part, I'm pretty good. I'll wake up maybe with a slight headache, but that's a huge maybe. And then I'll just be fine for the rest of the day. But there's some days where I just don't prep and I'm just like, you know what, this is happening and it just goes down. And you know what, I can't move for like 4 business days. So
when you don't have a hangover, what's it like being God's favorite?
It's pretty great, dude.
Yeah,
it's pretty great to just be chill and just wake up the next morning and be like, ooh, no, I think I got a slight headache. All right, let's go. Let's figure it out.
It's got to be a chemical imbalance in my body. It never fails. I always have a hangover.
Really?
Yes, every time.
But hangovers and chicken wings. So you mentioned that you went to a club. Did you go to a strip club?
I did go to a strip club.
It always happens, huh?
Oh my God. The club that we would go to was just like a dance club, a regular dance club. And then one night it was like, let's go to a strip club. That's the first strip club I've ever been to. It was in Fort Leonard, Missouri. I'll never forget that smell. It was just like boob and sweat.
Boob sweat or boob and sweat?
Under boob sweat.
Okay.
It has a very particular smell. It doesn't stink. You just know where it's coming from.
Yeah.
That was my first experience at a strip club. I would never forget it. It was dark, neon everywhere, white girls in heels. That's all I remember. But it's just that is a memory I hope to lock away again. Thank you for bringing it up.
Did you guys? What was your drink of choice when you went out?
I think it was a Blue Long Island at the time.
Oh my God! And you were pounding long. Jesus Christ!
It was a blue, but there was this girl. And believe it or not, she's a pastor today. She used to buy my liquor along with the guy I was dating. She would buy my liquor. She would buy I think it was New Amsterdam or whatever, a whole bottle. And I would just drink that shit because I couldn't buy any at the club. So I would always go
you pregame
wasted.
Yeah.
That's
how to do it.
drink. I don't know if I ever drank there or somebody may have bought it and kind of snuck me some. Mm-hmm. But it was always Blue Long Island.
Oh, that's gross.
Or
it'll get you there. I remember when I was in IT, there was a moment where we were just pounding drinks, and then one of my buddies had a Mike's Hard.
Oh,
and
I don't bring it up.
What?
Back when I felt like Mike's Hard hit the scene, was on a weekend pass in AIT. I was pretending to be straight, had a girl on my lap. We were in somebody's hotel room, because you had to buy a hotel. We was in one of my battle buddies' hotel room, and there was this girl that was in my unit. She was sitting on my lap, pretending to be straight. And I told the guy across the room, I was like, hey, can you toss me a Mike's Hard lemonade? He tosses it, and it smacks me dead in the side of my face. This is a glass bottle. It's not canned. So the old school ones.
Oh.
So it really dislocated. I felt like it broke my fucking jaw.
It broke on your face?
No, it just pounded right in the side of my head and just fell on the ground. I was like, cool, thanks. And I had to keep it straight. I was in so much fucking pain. And I was kind of drunk. And then I woke up the next morning. I was like, fuck, I can't open my mouth.
Oh, shit.
My jaw. But gladly it wasn't broken.
Oh, my God. That is wild. Those hurts. Sometimes you take a Mike's Hard to the face and you're like, you know what? I'm just going to calm down a little bit.
Yeah, well, and I was just being regularly. This is what happens when you pretend to be straight. You get hit in the face with bottles. I hated that. That was the last time.
So when you guys got back, when you guys got back to the barracks and AIT and all that stuff, since you guys went from basic to AIT and it was right across the street, did you guys have any problems with people smelling bad?
Smelling bad in AIT?
Yeah.
No, because it was only 2 people to a room.
Oh, okay. So you didn't have to force anyone in the shower or anything?
No, not in AIT.
Okay.
It was literally like college. I was going to say college rooms, but as we all know, what a barracks is in basic training, it was like one of those World War II barracks. Mm-hmm. So it was like a bunk bed and 2 wall lockers, and that's all you got. So
did you guys have fire guard in AIT as well?
We had fire guard, yes.
Ooh, that's a bummer.
Yes. It did suck. It sucked a lot. And just being who I am and not really giving a shit about what people think about me, you get approached a lot in all males barracks.
Really? Okay.
I don't know how PG this is, but I got approached. I think we were coming from class one day, and this guy walks up. He's in my company, and he's like, hey, I'm going to wake you up on fire guard tonight. I'm relieving you on fire guard, or you're relieving me. I was like, okay, you don't have to tell me. Just come and wake me up.
Yeah.
He came and woke me up. He was like, there's something going on in the bathroom. We get to the shower and we have sex.
What?
Yeah. I thought something was going on with the wash machines or there was actual emergency. We get in there. He just takes his pants off. I was like, what the hell are you doing, dude? I was like, didn't somebody just get locked up for this? What are you doing? Did I participate? Yes, I did. I was a horny teenager. It was.
But you were 18 though.
I was of age of consent.
You were 18, yes.
He was as well. Were we supposed to? No, because I went 9 weeks. I went 9.
So he wakes you up from fire guard and he's like, "Hey man, there's something going on in the shower." You're like, "Oh fuck, somebody's getting in a fight," and then you go with the shower and then you turn around and he's back. Why you clothes off?
But you got your clothes off. Why are you pants on the floor? But you know what? There was a rumor. hopefully everybody knows of like the eggs in basic. They put something in them to
Oh
your
yeah.
hormones for men anyway.
To suppress your hormone. I've heard that it was so you won't get boners.
Well, it suppress your hormones because you get hard because your hormones are raging.
I never heard of that until I got to my first unit, and one of the females that was in my company, her stepdad was a sergeant major, or at the time was a current sergeant major for a TRADOC unit. Don't know which one, but we were talking about that. She's like, they put eggs in, they put something in the eggs to make males like to calm them down so you won't all be all horned up and stuff in basic. And I was like, what the fuck?
It had to be a different it has to be a different channel between basic and AIT, because when we get AIT, that's all people were doing. They was nut and button and ready to get down. It just like that. And then when they walked in that shower and his pants was down, I was like, yep, it's been 9 weeks. I want something. That was wild. But that's why I stopped doing fire guard. I was like, because you never know what you're going to expect. It could be a fire or it could be.
Did that happen more than once?
Man. With this guy in particular?
Well, just any.
Yes. I'm on the record, so I have to say yes.
Oh fuck!
But it was an experience, and like it made me grow up more within my sexual deviancy.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm like,
that's where you unlocked some new kinks and stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, am I worth more than getting down in the shower? Like, should I not be in the W or something?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it unlocked a lot. Like you told me before, like you broke my mind.
Yeah.
Like I was like, dang, I can really do this.
Yeah.
Like I'm free now. So throughout the rest of basic, the guy I was seeing, like he didn't sleep in the barracks. Like I think they were.
Oh, because he was a reclass, right?
Yeah. He like slept off post or something. Stuff got wild. After that shower incident, I was like, okay, I know what I'm doing now. I feel like I know what I'm doing. Let's do it all.
Oh my God. So you were in AIT in 2007, right?
August to October.
So around that time how was it like being gay and being in the Army around that time?
I've never been in a closet. Growing up, when my mom and dad realized like, oh, he might have some sugar in his tank, I was like, what the hell does that mean? Like fruity, and it's like, is he? So I really never had a chance because of my mannerisms and my femininity. Mm-hmm. I'm very in tune. So I never had a chance to be in a closet and hide who I was. So going into the Army, I just couldn't hide it. I couldn't hide who I was. So like, I never really got fucked with because my demeanor was just like,
you that bitch.
If you come over here, you're going to get the smoke you're looking for.
You that bitch.
But for others, it was pretty hard for others. Like going into the military in 2006, anytime before 2012 with the Don't Ask, Don't Tell, it was kind of rough for people. They couldn't really be who they are or their true selves. But then again, like going into the Army in particular, they want to break you down to a clean slate and then build you up into who they want you to be.
Yeah.
Which it happened for most people. Like day one of basic training, it was just
crying,
stupid kid.
Yeah.
And then last day at AIT, I'm a brand new man.
Yeah. But
it never took away from who I was.
So there's a whole generation of now soldiers out there that didn't even know this was a thing. Can you explain what Don't Ask, Don't Tell was?
So Don't Ask, Don't Tell, I think was signed by Bush, George Bush Sr. Don't Ask, Don't Tell was like, don't ask nobody if they're gay, and you're not supposed to tell anybody if you are gay.
And what were the consequences?
You could get chaptered out of the Army.
You can get chaptered out of the military.
Military in general.
Yeah.
So it, like I said, I was a rebel. I didn't really give a fuck. So nobody never asked me because it's very blatant. Mm. I never asked anybody. I didn't have to tell anybody. But it was hard for people. Like it took a hard hit on people's mental health. Like dudes trying to be straight or females trying to be straight. But I don't know. In my generation, it was just like mad lesbians. In like AIT, it was like mad lesbians not giving a shit. They was just like out here holding hands on base in uniform and shit. I was like, bro, don't ask, don't tell. Like you out here blatantly telling these people that you're a lesbian.
Yeah.
But it when it was repealed, it was kind of a magical moment for us. Granted, I was no longer in the Army, but a lot of my Army friends, I was like, okay, I can finally be who I want to be. I can be myself without any repercussions. But after it was repealed in 2012, it still took a little moment. And I still feel like in today's Army, it's kind of...
It's more inclusive and it's more understanding, but you still have some units out there.
You still have them old heads. It's just like, no, this...
Unfortunately.
Now I joined the Army type of thing.
Yeah, unfortunately. So when you so that definitely took a toll on you. That didn't really make too much of an impact on you because, like we said, you that bitch,
I'm
right?
a sassy ass bitch.
You a sassy broad. But what do you think had an impact for people who aren't that resilient?
Just having to hide themselves.
Yeah.
Like before the Army, they might have been gay. Like before joining, they might have been gay, freeing themselves or whatever. But they might have not had that confidence going into the Army. Like you cannot be gay and you cannot tell people that you are gay, which forces them back into the closet.
Oh, okay.
And them having to hide who they are and like just can't really be themselves. I feel like it's a huge impact on their mental health, which is very important. But like I said, I've never been in a closet and I can't imagine being forced back into the closet.
Yeah.
Like if I was in a situation where, say I got a job and I'm like, you have got to calm down. You can't be gay, or you got to change your voice, or you got to change the way you stand. That's like triggers of pushing you in a closet. Like you got to change in order to work here. I wouldn't take the job. Mm-hmm. Like I've never been in a closet and you're not about to put me in a closet.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, nobody would.
You can't.
Nobody would anyways.
I don't care how much your job is paying. Like,
fuck no.
But a lot of my friends who are gay and was in the military when I was in the military, it was a rejoiceful day when that was repealed.
I like that. I like that for you.
Me too.
I like that for you. And you were in AIT at this moment. You're a gay man in AIT in this moment. Proud gay man.
Very,
right.
Very proud. People knew
from in AIT from August to October.
Yep.
What'd you guys do for Halloween?
So, being the token gay kid in the entire company, I was asked to put together a Halloween party by our commander. It wasn't just a regular Halloween party for the soldiers. It's for the drill sergeants' families.
So it was like an FRG event.
Kids. Yes.
Oh shit!
It was huge. They gave me the resources available, and it's just like, since you're so sassy, use your imagination and make this shit up. So,
how much did they give you?
We just wrote a list. Drill sergeant went and got it, so I don't really know how much money it was. But it was a massive event. It was in like a huge gym and everything.
Really?
Yeah. It actually turned out very well, and like there was like a whole coin ceremony and everything. For like the commander was like, "Hey, you're doing this. Pick 7 people to do it with." It was like this whole ceremony where we got in front of the whole company and they presented us with a coin from the commander.
I like that. I like that. Did what was the theme or anything?
Just Halloween. It wasn't like
well, because you know how some people have like zombies, mummies, and shit like that, or is it just kind of like an all thing, and you guys just kind of like trick or treated or something?
Orange and pumpkins and shit, like because the kids were there, and you can't really scare these kids. Oh, so it was just like if you can imagine, trunk or treat.
Oh, okay, but in a gym.
Inside of a gym.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. At least you got a coin out of that.
I did. Do I know like where it's at? I do not.
So after you're done with AIT, finally, you get to your first unit.
I got my first unit in Red Springs, North Carolina.
Hell yeah, brother.
Oh, my God. And when they say join the National Guard, you can always come back home, I don't know what was going through my mind, because the reason I joined the Army is to get away from home. It was like a smack in the face. It was like someone took a brick and threw it in my face. I got back to my unit. It was on drill weekend. Like at this point, you're in the National Guard. You went from active duty, being active duty and basic and AIT, like doing the Army every day. And you're like, okay, we're done with you. Go home. And then like you want to play soldier. You want to keep playing soldier
because you're still drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, but you gotta wait till the weekend. Being a chemical specialist and being in a support unit, in the support battalion, like, we don't know what to do with you. We don't need you, because this was during Desert Storm when this MOS was created.
Oh yeah.
Homeboy, like with the mustard gas and stuff. So that's why they created it. And I get back to the unit, and it was like, we really don't need you. So just here's supply. Go and supply. So I was pushed into supply. I was issuing weapons, issuing uniforms.
Bullets can't fly without supply, baby. Shout out to supply.
And what the weirdest thing happened, I was in supply for like 8 months, and then my commander came up to me. She was like, "Hey, Brooks, I need you to give a class on CBRN to all the commanders in the battalion." I was like, "Excuse me, will you?" I was like, "I have no idea what I was taught." I was like, "I've been shoved into supply, so I don't know what to tell these people." She's like, "You don't have any material from AIT?" I was like, "No." I think I had a book or something, like my battle book. Yeah. So I had to go up to battalion and give a class to all of these commanders, this little E3 in front of all of these captains and majors. I was like, oh my God.
Whip that dick of authority out. You know what I'm saying, baby?
Oh, I was hella nervous. Yeah. But I just went over the basis, like, X, Y, and Z, this is what you got. This is what you have to do. And I was like, am I done? Can I please go? Can I please go? And then this bitch brought me KFC. I was like, this ain't enough. I need more. I need a promotion. My unit was kind of cool, like, very relaxed. Like, if they're I
would imagine, because it's the National Guard.
If there's no deployment orders, you're not doing anything, bro. They just like barbecuing and volleyball and shit. But that was way before I got there, because like as soon as I got there, they had just got deployment orders. So we was in the field every drill. We just call it a Muta 5 or a Muta 6, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. A Muta 5 was Saturday and Sunday, but we'd get on a Friday and you get issued your weapons, or you sign out the tanks, or whatever the case is. And that was the true definition of hurry up and wait. Like, you get there at 5 o'clock on a Friday, and then you're just like, okay, everybody be ready at 7 to go to the field. You wouldn't get to the field till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, fuck.
You're just like, all of these moving parts weren't moving.
Yeah.
So it was just like very weird for me. Like, okay, I gotta wait to play Army, and nobody's doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But being in supply has its perks though.
Why?
Because kind of like, again, back to the scammer thing, like somebody bring you that weapon, it's like, I can say it's dirty and you clean your weapon again, or I can say it's clean, you can clean mine. So I never like really had to clean my weapon. Okay. Like, you're bringing it back to me, and I have to check to see if it's clean. I was like, it's a little dirt. Here's a smudge.
The worst fucking thing is when you hand your weapon to the supply guy, wipes his pinky wipes his pinky down, and he just gets all in that star chamber, and he's just like, look, you're like, that wasn't there. That wasn't there beforehand. And if it's a skinny person, you're fucked. Because that pinky's going really in there, and they're scraping that star chamber, and you're like, you know what, motherfucker.
Again, being in supply, I had the first uniforms. My gas mask was clean. I never cleaned a weapon, and I didn't even like the saw shit. Never toted a saw. Never had to carry a saw. We had a security detail.
Mm-hmm. Which was that?
Huh?
Which was that carried the saws?
Yeah, but like we had like 2 people from like a district platoon or transportation platoon that was assigned to keep supply safe. Mm-hmm. So they just followed us around, and they had to carry that shit along with their M4.
Oh, okay. And that's not too bad at all.
Carrying both of the weapons?
No, not having to carry the 240.
Oh, yes.
Not having to carry the saw. That's pretty sweet.
Carried it in basic, but once I got to my unit, I was like, no.
Jesus.
It was heavy.
How was your supply sergeant? Because you weren't the supply guy. You were NCO was.
Yeah, there was me, my best friend, and then we had a supply guy. His name, I can't remember his name, but he liked to refer to himself as a secret squirrel. And to this day, I don't know what that means. It was like Delta or something.
Something to do with that, yeah.
Yeah. So he called himself a secret squirrel, and you can tell he had a few nuts loose. Like he was just like very paranoid all the time. I remember the first time we went to the field. He was a great guy. He was like a very fatherly figure. It was January of 2008, super cold. And like I said, we didn't get to the field till like 1 a.m. He let me and my best friend sleep in the cab of the truck, and he slept on the back of the truck.
Why?
He just wanted to take care of us. He just wanted to protect us. Like, he didn't want us to sleep in the cold.
Okay, that makes sense.
And we didn't, being supply, you didn't have to set up a tent. Like, you didn't have to sleep with the commoners, the peasants. So he let us sleep. It was still fucking uncomfortable. Like,
but at least you're warm.
Ish. Like, they didn't throw off a lot of heat.
Well.
But he was a nice guy, but eventually he got the boot for being crazy.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if it was by his own account or like people started noticing like, you might need to go to sick call and get that checked out. And
really?
I guess he got evaluated and never saw him again.
Oh my God. You said that's where you met your best friend.
Yeah. So I'm a Capricorn. So in January, and my first drill, it was January the 8th. I'll never forget it. And I was turning 19. I was like, I don't want to be here. I want to go to the club to celebrate my birthday. And I was just, being 19 is still like that fucking childish. It annoys me to this day. And my annoyance kind of drew her into me. Like, we've been best friends since 2008.
Jesus.
So that's the longest friendship I've ever had, and we're still best friends today. We were sitting in the LMTV, and I'm just like super pissed off. Like, I don't want to be here. I want to go home. I was such a brat for no reason. I didn't have a reason to be. Like, no one took my candy away from me. Mm-hmm. They just didn't offer me any candy. Like, I actually think I put in leave for that weekend. I was like, I don't want to go to drill. I want to go celebrate my birthday. We sucked that night because we got to the field at 1 a.m. and I bitched for about 2 hours because I didn't want to be there. And then at 5, we had a ruck march. We had a 5-mile ruck march.
In the morning?
In the morning, in the cold. Oh, God, it snowed. I couldn't feel my ankles. It's the first time I've ever not been able to feel my ankles. And since I'm gay, I'm very fashion forward. I thought the summer boots were always so cute. They gave me a summer boots. They had summer boots and they have winter boots. Those winter boots are god awful ugly. They're just disgusting. So I was like, I'm wearing my summer boots.
Oh, in the winter?
In the winter.
Fucked up, dude.
And did that teach me a lesson? Absolutely not.
Just because they look cute.
They look hella cute.
Oh my God. Oh fuck. So in your unit, did you go anywhere else for like annual training? I can't believe you wore summer boots in the winter for a ruck march because they look cute.
Yeah.
Holy shit. All right. So where did you go for AT for your annual training?
We went to Camp Shelby, Mississippi.
Good old Mississippi. I was there for AIT.
But in Mississippi.
Oh no, I'm sorry. No, ALC.
Oh, I was going to say, we went to Camp Shelby, Mississippi. Another instance that I was on a plane and super nervous about. I'll tell you a story. We left Green Ramp and I had a friend. She was a sergeant. She was a nurse. And she gave me, I think it was like a Flexeril or it wasn't a Percocet because I'm definitely allergic. She gave me a Flexeril. And that, a muscle relaxer on top of nerves, like going away from home again, it kind of sent me over the edge. I threw up in my shirt. I threw up inside my uniform. I was like, I can't let nobody see me throw up. And I said it the window.
Wait. Okay. We're gonna need to go back real quick. I just need to make sure I heard you correctly. You threw up in your shirt.
I threw up, not in my blouse, inside my shirt.
Oh fuck. So you're like on the plane. You said you had a window seat.
3 seats in, like I was all the way at the window. 2 people beside me.
And then you're like, it's gonna happen, and you pull your blouse out, you pull your shirt up, and you just void that thing into the shirt.
Right in there.
And your shirt's
So it was just like, gladly, I didn't have a lot of water, so it didn't puddle at the bottom of my shirt.
Oh, it was just chunks.
Yeah, it was a chunky moment.
Oh, wow.
And it's embarrassing as you can imagine it being. Try being my side. No. I didn't tell anybody. I was like, all right, try
So
this.
you just stunk the whole
It was just in there the entire flight. Mind you.
No. Oh, no. Oh, wow. Oh, my God.
Van and escort, again, hurry up and wait. They was in a rush to get us down there. And I could not wash until like 8 hours after we landed.
Oh,
so I was just walking around with like pizza or chicken wings, whatever it was.
Wait, did you at least like try to like adjust your pants so it'll come out of your? Oh no, because then it goes into it like puddles at your poop.
Yes, I didn't get up the whole flight because I was like, I had a muscle relaxer. I was like, I feel woozy. I had to take a nap. So I took a nap with it on my chest.
What? No. Oh no. Oh wow. Whoo, boy. Wow, that was a roller coaster of a fucking story. Oh my God.
So we was
Goodness.
and after our secret scroll got out, he was replaced by another sergeant.
Okay.
She was very hua. She had it together. Appeared to have it together. I don't know. I think she had just came out of active duty actually, and she went National Guard and she went to Camp Shelby with us. Now, when you're in the Army, like, you know, issuing license for the LMTV or the Humvee or MREC or whatever it is, you got to do the training. Mm-hmm. And you have to go to whoever 92 Alphas that do the SAMC boxes.
Something like that, yeah.
We wanted to get our license for the LMTV. And she was like, no, you're not ready. I don't want you to have them. I was like, well, somebody in supply has to have them. Yeah. She was like, don't worry about it. I got them. I'm like, well, you can't be everywhere at one time because you have like meetings and stuff with the commander. We saw the LMTV, me and my best friend, in Camp Shelby, Mississippi. But there was a licensed driver inside the cab.
Her?
No, it was one of there was a cook. He had a huge crush on my best friend. Okay. So he was in the cab with us. He was like, yeah, I'll take you guys.
So what the fuck happened?
We went on a joyride around post.
Did anybody find out that you took it?
The craziest thing is we rode past our sergeant. She was standing outside of her vehicle or something. One of the vehicles she was standing, she was like, get the fuck out the truck. I don't know. It was funny then. Something serious would have happened, probably could have happened, but we got out of the truck and she managed to do push-ups and rocks. Like in basic training, it was like, these are low-key the rules that we can't make you do. Like, this is what we can't make you do. She didn't really give a shit.
Good, because you're not in basic training anymore.
I was in a real army.
Good.
Right.
That was a good, well, I mean, you're a National Guard, but still, you know, that was a good, you know what, you deserved it. I'm proud. I like that.
It was a learning lesson. Did I get licensed after that? No.
Did you learn a lesson?
Probably I learned how to drive an LMTV. That's a lesson. But I never did it again. And she was like, y'all put that stunt, you're not getting no licenses.
Well, yeah, because you guys stole a fucking LMTV.
It was and then again, it was the cook's LMTV, and she was like, can you teach us how to drive it? And then, of course, we chain of command. We didn't ask her first.
Oh my God, of course not.
That was kind of rough.
God damn. So you had quite a career. You had quite a bit of moments in only 3 years.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man.
A lot of weird moments but I enjoyed. I would do it again, bro. I swear.
Yeah. So we'll go into a little Q&A that I like to do, just to see if you still drink the Kool-Aid. First question is, when you were in, did you tuck your pants into your boots, or did you use blousers?
I hated blousers. I used them on my bed though, but I did tuck my boots.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. You're not a trustworthy person in there.
It was just very comfortable.
You can't trust a person who tucks their pants into their boots. You just can't. It's an unspoken rule.
I never rolled my ankle though. This is the extra support.
Does not make any difference. Does not make any difference. When you were in, did you heat up your MREs?
I think I heat up my chili mac.
That chili mac is good.
But I didn't have the time. I didn't have the time or patience, and I didn't like the smell.
Oh no, yeah, because that preserving heater smell is disgusting.
I hated that steam smell.
And
it got hot. This stuff was hot.
Well, yeah, it's a heater. You was a scammer in basic and AIT with them things, weren't you?
Yeah, well, I used to barter and trade like M&Ms and Skittles and the Chili Mac. Back then, those were the three hot topics. Like, if you got that, you were good.
Yeah.
And I always like, later I got you if you give me some of them Skittles. And that's the only time we got candy. And basically is if it just so happened to be in one of the boxes that they missed.
When you were in your first unit, you guys went to the field a lot.
Yeah, every weekend.
Jeez, oh yeah, because that's what you guys got to do.
Yeah, not
Sucks.
every weekend, but every time we had drill.
When you're in the field, did you have to bring your sleeping mat?
Yeah, we had to bring everything issued. Everything Army issued. We had to bring it with us.
Really?
Cot, sleeping mat, sleeping bag. All three covers to the sleeping bag. This is when they were still
depending
BDU.
on when it's like what time of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we had to bring it all.
That's weird.
I didn't use it though. Like taking apart that cot is like a jigsaw puzzle, bro.
Putting it together is hard. That should be part of the PT test. You could put a cot together, you're solid.
Right. I still have a knot in my shin from getting whacked in it.
Yeah. So your scenario, right? You're going to the field for 7 days. How many socks, underwear, and shirts do you bring?
I'm bringing 7 pairs of socks.
Yeah.
That's all straight off the bat. 3 shirts and 4 pair of underwear. Because, I mean, you could turn the underwear inside out. And
that's not bad.
Like brand new.
Yeah, that's not bad. Well, yeah, you can. You find a swamp in there, you can just wash your unmentionables in there too.
Yeah.
What was your first moment of Army suck?
That ruck march, that cold ruck march with those summer boots.
Your summer boot
I was
march,
like,
dude.
That was my first realization. I'm like, I'm in the Army now, and they really don't care if it sucks. They just want you to complete the mission.
Mm-hmm.
And during that ruck march, at like 5 o'clock in the morning, it's like 19 degrees outside. It sucked, and like the roads, it wasn't like a normal road. It was like a dirt road.
It's an improvised road.
Where's it? Chicken Road or whatever it is over there. That's where it was. It sucked.
That's not too bad.
I'm not going to do it.
You're here now, though.
Well,
See, you survived it. You'll be fine.
I could do anything if I can do that.
What are some of your favorite quotes that you've heard?
Smoke them if you got them.
Smoke them if you got them. That's right, baby. That's fucking right.
I always remember that. It was and then I didn't start smoking until I got to my unit.
Okay.
And because it looked cool.
It feels like a treat.
Yeah, like I seeing my parents smoking growing up. I was like, I'm never gonna smoke. And then I got there, I was like, these guys look fucking cool. I want to be cool. So I started smoking, and then like we got a smoke break. I was like, God, I need nicotine.
They did look pretty cool when you see them. You're like, well, one won't hurt. Next thing you know, you're hooked on caffeine and nicotine.
Red Bull and nicotine.
Red Bull and cigarettes.
It was Newports.
Oh boy, Red Bull and a Newport when you're in the field. Oh, right when you wake up, brush your teeth, you shave, and right before breakfast. God damn, you don't talk about.
It just makes it suck a little less.
Anything that you can do to make it suck a little less. But when it's cold, there's still dew out, the sun is coming out, you're smoking a fucking nice ass Newport, and you're fucking ripping a goddamn Red Bull. Motherfucker, that feels good.
It's like freedom.
Whoo! We do not condone smoking, but goddamn. Holy shit, that was great. What advice would you give to someone who is thinking of joining and someone who is going to their first unit?
Some advice I would give a new private, or if you're thinking about becoming a private, just know that it's all mental. Mm-hmm. Everything you do in Army is mental. If you can tell yourself, yes, I can do this, you could do it. There's physical, obviously, like you're gonna have to face your fears. If you're afraid of height, you gotta face it.
Yeah.
Your push-ups, your sit-ups, your 2-mile run, like they're gonna train you. They're gonna train your body. You're just gonna have to train your mind. Mm-hmm. They only care about the shell, whatever's on the inside or whatever's in your mind. You're gonna have to do that. the advice I'd give a new private to reporting to their unit is, one, stay away from the strip clubs.
Oh, that is a good one. We haven't had that one yet.
Stay away from the strip clubs. If you're in Fayetteville at Fort Liberty,
nope.
Stay away from Bright Boulevard.
Not calling it Fort Liberty, even if there's a fire. But good thing Sharky's is closed down. Rest in peace, Sharky's. We miss you so much. That steak lunch that you guys had was
steak lunch.
Great.
I've never eaten in a strip club, so I can't relate.
That's the only one that I went to that was like I was okay being there. It was okay because there was steak.
Sharky's was so sketchy.
It was great, but it's gone now and it only exists in our memories.
R.I.P.
We love you, Sharkies. Last question. Would you do it all over again?
Yeah.
You would?
I would do it. There's one thing I would change. I would go active duty. I would do National Guard.
So you can get away from home.
Yeah. So I could, get away from home and live my life without someone looking over my shoulder.
Yeah.
Because if you're in the National Guard, you're coming back home to the town your family's in, and playing Army every other weekend.
Yeah.
I would have went active duty. I feel like I missed out on seeing the world. Because I said I'm a scammer. And branch managers, I would have got whatever I wanted to go wherever I wanted.
Could have done it, but you didn't.
But yeah, I'd do it over. I wouldn't change a lot that I did or experiences that I had. That's the only thing I would change.
But you would just change going active duty?
Yeah.
I love it.
I would still get whacked off in the shower.
I fucking love it, Travis. Well, it's been great having you. Thank you for coming on. It's been an absolute honor and pleasure to have you on. You know I love you very much. Tell people where they can find you, dude.
On Instagram?
Instagram, OnlyFans, Feet Finder, whatever you got.
Christian Mingle,
Farmers Only.
My Instagram is _toucansam_. And it should say Travis Brooks or something.
Travis Brooks, _Travis Brooks on Instagram. Follow us at Wet Boots Podcast, _pod on Instagram. Now we're on YouTube, so I'm still kind of figuring that one out. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and I'm trying to figure out if I can do something else on TikTok. Can't figure it out yet, but you know what? We'll figure it out. Thank you so much for staying with us. Travis, I love you, buddy.
I love you
so much. Thank you for coming on, bud.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, everybody.